Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I will show you how to create a new network on ASUS TUF-AX4200. Let's begin. Now, if you have no idea how we got here, you want to watch my basic tutorial or basic setup tutorial that I've recorded previously. But after that's done, you should basically get this. Well, actually, that's a lie. You probably have no idea how to get into this site, and that's perfectly fine. First of all, you want to connect via the internet to your router that you have previously plugged into your modem and then into your electricity. Then you want to open a new page, and inside your page, you want to input the following: 192.168.50.1. Then simply hit enter, and after a moment we should see this screen right here. So as you can see, there is also a way for you to do it via the application itself. As you can see, we have some application called ASUS Router installed, but before we can actually use it to set it up, we first need to connect to it. So let's switch it, and you should see this this network right here, which we are connected to via the via the Ethernet cable through the computer. But most people actually do this via the computer itself, so I will begin with that first, and only then I will go after the mobile version itself. So let's simply head into our computer now. Let's enable the beautiful logo and let's begin. So we can go into, we have the ability to change the language if you want to, but I'm not going to bother with that. We can also go into advanced settings, but as you can see, there is nothing here. We can choose operation mode, but that is a little bit more advanced, and most of people will probably want to use wireless router mode anyway. So we can just go back. We can also technically go with upload, and this upload is, I believe, for the settings, but once again I will just ignore that. Let's go to previous and let's go with create a new network. First, we have the ability to enable special requirement from ISP. Now, technically, we could enable this, of course, if you only want to, but technically speaking, it is not mandatory, so I will go with no. However, if we go with yes, we can go with profile, and we have a bunch of different profiles to choose from. But I will go with previous and I will go with no. Now, here is probably the most important part. We have the ability to go with network name, which is the name that will be shown, for example, on our mobile phones or laptops or whatever, and the password to it. Though, as you can see, the Google Manager actually tried to set up something different. And also what's really cool about that is we can separate two different networks. So we have the 2.4 gigs network and 5 gigs network. This is probably what you want to do, although technically you don't have to. I will do it just for the funnies. So we can now specify a network name. So I will name it subscribe to HardReset.Info. Actually, that's pretty lame. Let's name it some sort of skibidi toilet. And we can name it 2.4, so we can have information, and then we can do this. But now we'll go with, I'm such a funny guy, god damn it. Of course, that is a joke, I am not a funny guy. But anyway, now we can choose a password. What's really cool is that we can technically set two different passwords, but I will go with a very simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 passwords. And the same thing can be said about this. I can actually also enable this. So let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But of course, this is a very dangerous password. I don't care, I will just go with it. But of course, if you want, you can do something cool. So secret password or whatever, but you know, this is only for tutorial only. You'll probably want to set something very serious, so let's go with apply. And now, well, technically we have a warning that's related to our danger. Let's go with OK. Let's go with OK. And finally, now we have the router login name, which will be used to log in into the admin panel of our router. And this is also very important because if you fail to do it, you'll have to hard reset the router, and only then you will be able to get access. So I will do something very typical, which is admin, admin, admin. This is probably the most common things, which we probably want to ignore. Oh no, we cannot ignore that because this is a default password actually. So let's head into and add admin 123, admin 123, and let's hit next, and we will have to wait for a bit moment because usually now our router should install. Oh, and we also have the ability to install the latest firmware. So we technically could, and I will do it. So let's go with firmware upgrade. And now our firmware is upgrading, is downloading, and it will take about a few minutes. I will just simply pause the recording and let's wait for a moment. Okay, the update has successfully finished, so let's go with next. And now we have that our internet connection is finished, and we have a nice summary. So we have basically everything we did. We have changed the name of our network and also its password. And now once the new... Oh, well, I didn't manage to read this. I guess you can just go back and pause the video. But now we want to use our admin and admin123 password to sign in. And this is the admin panel that we'll later use. Let's go with agree. We have to scroll to the bottom. Okay. We have to scroll to the bottom, hit agree, and hopefully we can also ignore that. Can I please get to the admin panel? Finally, thank you. So this is the admin panel. We have an amount of clients that we have connected. Here we'll actually spend most of our time, like changing all the settings, changing everything. And that's the end for this video for the PC part. But now we can actually go into our mobile part. So let's go into the application that we have installed, which is the ASUS, which is right here. I can actually move it to the main screen so it can be easier to access. Maybe not inside random folder I just did by accident. Thank you. So we have ASUS router. We have to agree to the same things we've agreed just a second ago. So let's go with I agree. And welcome to the ASUS router. So we want to basically wait for a moment. And now, if we want to go to setup, we can set up a new router, or we can manage and connect to the router. So if we go to manage, we need to admin the things we have already said. So just admin, which I almost know how to type, and admin 123, which I also failed. I failed once again. Sign in. We can go and save it, it doesn't really matter. But oh, the password you just used was found in data breach. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's go once again, try to sign in. But that's interesting because I just used that to sign in into my normal router, which is pretty funny once again. But technically we can ignore that, since what we want to do is we want to head into our network. Let's go into setup, and here we can set up as a new router. So we probably want to go with TUF-AX. Let's head here. We can enable ability to find few things, but the ASUS router was not found, which is pretty interesting. We can go with manual Wi-Fi connection, and basically want to open your mobile device wallet settings, find and connect to your ASUS Router SSD, and tap notification to stay connected. So we can do that. Let's make sure that we are actually connected to our networks, but of course we're not going with SkipD. Let's go with our cool Sigma network. Beautiful. Let's hit save. And now we should go here and let's try to search once again for our router. Because now we are connected, though as you can see we still have some troubles. So you can go to Wi-Fi connections, and yeah, I do see that we are connected to a correct network, which is pretty interesting because the app seems to not detect it, which is once again pretty interesting. And it's searching once again. And it's still searching, it takes some time. However, there is no need to waste time because there is another way for us to connect, and it is by enabling camera and scanning the QR code at the bottom of the router. Now, because router is actually in a different room, I can't really show this, so I will pause the video and I will simply make a photo of the QR code that can be found at the bottom of the router. So I'll be in a moment, but for you it will be just a second. Okay, I have scanned the QR code. As you can see, we have this. This is probably the issue because I've tried to connect to my networks of SkipD Toilet and Sigma, while in reality I should connect to ASUS 64, which I didn't know existed, to be honest. So let's go with OK. And now we can open with wireless settings, I guess. And it appears that nothing has happened. And I think I know the issue. This is mostly because we cannot really connect to our router because technically the router isn't not set up. It is set up previously that we did in our other tutorial, like I just did that on the PC, so I can do the same thing on our admin. So what I'm going to do, I will pause the video right now and I will perform a hard reset of our network, so it will be in our default state. But don't worry, if you want to know how to perform a hard reset, you can always watch my full tutorial on that, because I just don't want to make this video even longer than it needs to be honest, because it's already pretty long. So let's begin. Okay, I have performed the hard reset of the network, and now we can go into our Wi-Fi and then head into our ASUS 64, and now we can go into our setup, head into routers, and as you can see in a moment, you should see that now it detects without any issues. So make sure to not really follow my steps, but if you want to set up as a PC, you probably won't really set up as a mobile. But now we have to wait for a moment, and let's go and set up a whole new network. Let's go and get started. We are detecting our internet connection status. This is probably the same case as we had before. And now we have, oh, but it's actually a little bit different because this time we actually have explanations. So as you can see, if there is a special requirement from your ESP to assure your authorized internet with VLAN, tag, and IP streaming, please check your bunch of yada yada yada. Let's just ignore that. Let's go into next. And now I'm not going to bother with actually going with separate. Let's just set something pretty quick. And after you have done that, you can simply go with next. Now key is too weak, but let's just ignore that. We don't have to set it as our password manager. And now I will go with both admin and admin123. So let's go with, we have to go with once again admin123. Let's go with apply. Let's maybe not set it to password manager this time. And now our network is being stopped. And in any moment now we should see that it's now done, which should be right about now. Though, you know what, I will just pause the record, Come on, man. I will just pause the recording. And now we are prompted if you want to connect to our network. Let's go with safe. And as you can see, we are now connected to our Fastboy, and we can head into... Oh, never mind, we cannot head into nowhere because we have network optimization, so pausing video, here we go. And as you can see, we have good connection, we can hit finish, and now we are inside our home. We can go with enable, let's go for notifications, sure. And now we can customize our network through our mobile application. But for the customization part, that's all for the video now, because we have many different videos to record, and this one is already way too long. So anyway, that's all for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.